Are you ready to reclaim your throne? Well, today I want to show you how to reclaim your power and be that queen that you were born to be. Hi, I'm Kayla Moore. Welcome to my channel, Enchant Your Life, where we talk about all things spiritual and manifestation so that you can live an empowered, magical life where you live a life of abundance and joy. I feel like for so many of us, last year was a year of shedding, of like peeling back the layers. And it makes sense because last year was actually the Chinese year of the snake. And the snake is always like shedding its skin. We were shedding old identities, old beliefs, old versions of ourselves that we thought we had to be. We thought maybe we had to be nice all the time. We had to be quiet. We had to not rock the boat. All that stuff that we may have been taught growing up. And that's all crap. That version had to go. And to be honest with you, I was that person for a long, long time. And I used to, stay quiet to keep the peace. And I would just bottle things up so much. I wouldn't say what was on my mind because I just didn't want to cause any trouble. And, other people felt at peace, but my spirit was not at peace. At night, I would be up ruminating about what I should have said, how I should have handled it. I would be thinking about the situations over and over, losing hours of sleep. And, my spirit was not at peace. And eventually, it would all come out. All that stuff that was bottled up, I would end up in an argument, in an outburst. People would be like, where is this coming from? They had no clue that it was a buildup. And I would make rash decisions out of frustration without thinking too much about it. I used to just, make certain decisions out of anger. None of that stuff was meant to stay inside of me. Now I realize that I can speak and have an opinion and disagree with people in that moment. Or I could even think about it and explain my side or my opinion shortly thereafter. It was not something I needed to hold on to just to make people feel comfortable. It's not my job and it's not your job to make sure that everyone is feeling comfortable. After that realization, everything changed. And I promised myself that I would have my own back. There were people in my life that would say, girl, I got your back. I got your back. And it made me feel good temporarily until I realized that they actually didn't have my back. And I made a vow to myself that I would be the person to have my own back and treat myself as the most precious person in my world because I am. And you're the most precious person in your world. I started creating boundaries, reclaiming my dignity and my worth. And now I'm my own best friend. I appreciate everything I've been through and how I acted and all that kind of stuff. I forgive myself for all of that. I made peace with all of it because I now appreciate it and recognize that all of that had to happen to make me the person that I am today, who I love unconditionally. I'm now more authentic, grounded, and mostly unbothered, which was a huge step for me, but it feels so good. And I really hope you get to that point as well if you're not there already. I am a sovereign being, and as an empath, I found a tool for myself that I learned from a teacher, and I say in my mind, sovereignty now. Anytime I feel someone's energy that may be negative, that does not belong to me. And automatically, I reclaim my sovereignty and come right back to myself, back to my own power. Because here's the truth. You are a sovereign being as well. You are the queen of your own universe. We all are. We each have our own perspective, our own lens through which we see our lives and our realities, which makes us the center of our own universe and the queen of our universe, because we have the power. We have the power of putting out the vibration, the energy, the frequency that we choose. We have the power to react to things that in a way that we want to react to them. No matter what comes our way, our power is in our reaction to it. And we can focus on what we want to focus on. Whatever we focus on gets bigger. That is our power. We are creating our own reality. Using the law of attraction, what you put out is what you get back. You know, who you are, who you feel you are, is reflected to you in the world like a mirror. That's power. You are the center of your world, so why not act like it? You know, I have a little prop here. I got a crown. It's time for you to put your crown on. If you don't have a real crown like this, just pretend. Pretend you have a crown. Put it on your head and internalize and become that queen that you are, that queen that you were born as. Why not move through life with intention, with confidence, with love, with unconditional love for yourself? Why not? Because life is short. And this life right here, this life is yours. And you can live on your terms. You know, forget about what society expects from you. What do you want? You have to start unlearning some things that, society has taught us that is actually harming us and making us feel weaker than we are and putting negativity into us, which makes us feel more and more powerless. A lot of people don't want us to know that we are this powerful. So unlearn the need for approval, right? Unlearn the fear of being seen and being judged. Unlearn that. And now you have to choose. Choose to follow your heart. Choose to follow your intuition. Because we were all born with intuition. And that's an important guidance in our specific lives. It's guidance specifically for us. People from the outside can give you tips all they want, and you could listen to them or not, but they are not living your life. And your higher self, your inner guidance, the God within you, knows exactly what's happening with you and can always lead and direct you in the right way that's for you. And you can always feel when it's right for you. You feel it in your gut. You know what's right for you and what's wrong for you. Trust that. You know, for a long time, I always felt like I didn't fit in. I always felt like something was different about me. I thought maybe something was even wrong with me. You know, I didn't fit into certain groups that I wanted to be a part of, things like that. But you know what I realized? We weren't meant to fit in. We're all so unique, and we all have something special to share. And we belong in any environment that we're in. We belong. And, if some place doesn't feel comfortable for you, you have the option to leave. You can go wherever you want to go. But just know that wherever you go, that is where you were meant to be. A lot of times we don't know why we're in a specific place. And in hindsight, we may recognize what the reason was. But sometimes we will never know. And that's okay. Because God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, there's a reason for everything. It may be part of a divine plan that you are just not aware of. So like I said, you're not here to fit in. You're here to express. You're here to live life boldly and loudly, and to be proud of who you are exactly as you are. And we're all continuously learning and growing. We are a work of art, continuous work of art, where, we don't end. We are infinite. We are God's masterpieces, and we will go on forever and ever. Forever and ever, amen. So love yourself deeply, fully, unconditionally, the way God loves you, without agenda. I love how that sounds. It feels so good. A love without agenda. Can you feel that? And that means be kind to yourself, even when you're still learning, even when you're still growing. Because you're going to continuously be learning forever and ever, because we are infinite beings. And that's what the universe is all about. It's all about expansion. There are reasons for why you are the way you are. No blame, no shame. It is what it is. So like I said, you get to choose. You get to choose how you feel, how you react. You get to decide who you want to be. And the world will respond to that. That's how you're creating your reality. That's how you're co-creating your reality with the universe. That is your power. You create your frequency, and that frequency calls in other things that match it. So if you want a different life, don't chase it. Just match that frequency of who you are when you already have what you want. How does she feel? How does she carry herself? How does she respond? How does she react? How does she think? How does she speak? Become her and watch what happens. And this year is the year of the fire horse. It's the year of forward movement with courage. And it's funny because I did a meditation recently, and I was told to have more courage and more adventure in my life this year. And it lines up perfectly with that message of the fire horse. So I've decided that I'm straightening my crown, I'm sitting on my throne, and I am using my power to manifest the life that I want. I'm going to surrender and allow the universe to co-create this magical life with me. I'm going to be more of myself, just more and more. You're going to see the whimsical side of me more. You're going to see the fairy in me come out. I'm going to have so much more fun. And I wish that for you. I want you to become more authentic and free and just enjoy life so much more. So today I invite you to remember who you are and reclaim your power and sit on your throne. You are the queen of your universe. You're a queen, you're a queen. You're the queen of your castle. Do y'all remember that? That's like from back in the day. There was like a commercial where I think it was you're a king of the castle in your kingdom. I don't remember. It might have been like a hotel or something. But it stuck in my mind. It was really catchy. So like I said, you're a queen, you're a queen. You're the queen of your castle. You're the queen of the da in your kingdom. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Walk into every room like you're the main character. You know why? Because, girl, you are the main character. Bring that main character energy and don't care about who you intimidate. That's not your problem. That's something that they need to work on. I love me some affirmations, so I'm going to give you a few. I want you to go and look at yourself in the mirror and say the following. I reclaim my throne. I am the queen of my universe. I trust myself and my intuition completely. I move through life with confidence and intention. I love myself fully, exactly as I am. My energy creates my reality, and I choose power. You can repeat it and say it until you feel it, because it's all just words when you don't feel it. When you feel it, that's when things will shift for you. And honey, you're not just becoming her, you're remembering her. And she's been waiting for you. If this video spoke to you, go ahead and like and subscribe and share it with someone who you believe also needs to remember who they are and remember that they're a queen. And I'd like to invite you to my school community called Enchant Your Life Circle. And in this community, we have conversations where we go deeper into manifestation and law of attraction, law of assumption, the magic and spiritual side of life. We do oracle cards every week. We do monthly meditations, and we just explore ways for you to manifest your most enchanted and abundant life that you can imagine. So feel free to click the link in my description and join Enchant Your Life Circle. I can't wait to see you on the inside, and I will see you in the next video where we continue to enchant your life. Love you. Bye.